nice things. Chelsea cannot have nice things. We have a behind closed friendly. We win 5-1. Kai Havertz scores a hat-trick, and guess what? Mason Mount injured. Wesley Fofana, knee injury again. Let's get into this stupidness once again. Welcome to the Kavkas View, guys, and in today's video we are going to be breaking down the behind closed doors friendly, which had not one, not two, but 3 halves of 45 minutes. Chelsea beat Brentford 5-1. However, once again, it's not Kai Havertz's hat-trick that we need to be excited about. It's not Zakaria gets on the score sheet. It's not that we've got 5 upcoming games that are arguably, in my opinion, going to define our season that are coming up. It's the injuries that we need to talk about. Wesley Fofana, £69 million, and all of a sudden people are asking questions. Is he a bust? And not because he's not talented, not because we don't see the potential, but it's because of the fact that this guy's consistently getting injured. Did we buy a broken asset? Did Bowley's medical staff in America miss something? And then Mason Mount out with a calf strain, and I'm telling you now, as hard as we are on Mason Mount, as much as we want him to be better, as much as we want him to be world class, as people tell me he is, he's still an asset to this team. He's still needed in this team, even as a squad player. So another injury along with Trevor, Wesley Fofana, Broja, and now Mount. This season is shaping up to be very, very annoying. Let's get into this video. But before we get started, I need you lot to support the channel. That's the easiest way you can do it, is by hitting that like button, getting us 500 likes, because that's what the goal is every single video. Number 2, subscribing if you're new, because you are already enjoying the content enough if you got to this stage. And finally, downstairs in the pinned comment, the very first one, there's a linked channel. Click on it, follow me on Instagram, send me the DMs, and I'll answer about questions. And sometimes I just communicate with my fans there. You guys are there, we interact, we build the community, and it's perfect way of doing it. But other than that, let's continue. Let's go on with this. So the World Cup is over, and we all know that a lot of clubs are going to be having Carling Cup games in the upcoming week, so Carabao Cup game. But Chelsea are already out of the Carabao Cup. If you guys remember correctly, we got spanked by Manchester City and we ended up leaving. But what is going on? So Chelsea had a friendly against Brentford behind closed doors. A lot of people are reporting this, the ITKs, and they're saying that Chelsea won 5-1. It was 3 halves of football, 45, 45, 45. This essentially was designed so that Brentford's players and Chelsea's players World Cup could get 45 minutes under their belt, start playing around, almost reignite themselves, and get ready for the weekend action coming up next weekend, again on Boxing Day and 27th. For Chelsea, it's a big game. It's Bournemouth. We need to beat Bournemouth. But what happens? Chelsea win 5-1. Kai Havertz gets a hat-trick. We will talk about that later on, and how this upcoming 6 months is massive for Kai, Pulisic, Ziyech, Mount, and Raheem Sterling. This is a massive 5 months for those players, and we'll break it down why. Zakaria gets a goal, and a youngster gets a goal as well. I don't know the youngster's profile. I don't know what position he plays in. I've never heard of him. I don't watch youth team football anymore. Ever since the days of Masunda and Boga and Loftus-Cheek and Tammy and Solanke, I've stopped watching it. There were so many of them that were so good, and a lot of them didn't make it, to the point where I said, you know what, I can't watch youth team football anymore. I can't get invested into these players only for them to leave and for me to get annoyed. Ever since then, I stopped. But now let's talk about Wesley Fofana, because this is massive. So Chelsea spent £69 million on this asset, because that's exactly what he is, Wesley Fofana. It's an asset that we purchased with the view of him potentially being worth £150 million. And this man has got everything, right? He can play in the middle of a back 3, he can play in the back 4, play on the right hand side of a back 3. He's comfortable in possession. He's very tall and imposing in the sense that he's got a frail stature, but he's very strong and aggressive in the challenge. And more importantly, he reads the game very well. He does not depend on his pace to bail him out on consistently. So what could go wrong? Well, what could go wrong is Fofana had a very bad injury, I think around about 18 months ago, where he played for Leicester. He played for Leicester and he got a big leg injury. Since then, Wesley Fofana's come back into the fold, moved to Chelsea, and during an AC Milan game, all of a sudden, Wesley Fofana picks up a knee injury. And this knee injury rules him out for arguably what they said initially was 4 weeks, which turned out to be 8 weeks. And after those 8 weeks, now he's coming back into the team, and all of a sudden he limps off against Brentford with no disclosure of how severe this injury is. But once again, it's reported that it's his knee. And this is getting me very worried. Guys, this player is elite. but he is no good for us if he's consistently hurt. I'm sorry, I know a lot of you are going to get pissed. I know a lot of you are going to get angry saying, Alex, give him a chance. I'm not blaming him for being injured. I'm blaming our medical staff for allowing this deal to go through on an asset that's worth this much, and without doing the due diligence and finding out what is wrong. Is this going to be a recurring injury? Because we bought him in August, we are in September, October, November, December, 4 months in, and he spent more than 50% of it hurt. You pay £69 million for an asset when we are desperate to buy players at this moment in time. For him only to get in. I remember we took him to, I think it was Boston, to get him checked out, or it was either to Boston or to LA to get him checked out by Bowley's own personal doctors. The personal doctors that he trusts for his teams, the LA Dodgers, they examined him and they said, green light, sign the player. Now he comes back, he plays I don't know how long, but all of a sudden he's got knee injury. I'm worried for Wesley Fofana because the talent is there. We need to find a way to keep him fit. If we can't keep him fit, there is no point of even having him on the books. Honestly, there isn't, because we might as well sell, and I don't know who's going to pay us any of the money, because if this guy is consistently injured, what good does he bring for the team? The other big key takeaway from this game was Mason Mount was out with a calf strain. He has not been the best utilized, has he? Like, let's be honest, Mason Mount's played too much football for too long. This kid has been playing week in, week out for arguably I don't know how long. Whether it's England, played every minute of meaningless international games, whether it's Nations League, where qualifiers or friendlies, and when it came down to the big occasions, he was left out the squad. But when it came down to the World Cup, he lost his place to Jordan Henderson. He basically was a makeshift for Jordan Henderson. And then now he comes back with a calf strain, and we need to be very careful with him because we need the depth and we need Mason Mount playing. But the big things from this game, was that Kai Havertz got a hat-trick. Kai Havertz has got a massive 6 months ahead of him. And I told you earlier on in this video that players like Mount and Kai are fighting for their positions now only for the fact that if they underperform, their pay is not going to get increased the way they want it. They want to become the face of this team. And they've got an opportunity now, both Kai and Mason, till the end of the season to stake a claim that this is their team, this is their time to step up, and this is a reason for Potter to believe in. Kai Havertz got a hat-trick today. Kai, I don't need hat-tricks, but I need goals now. Enough is enough. Time for you to step up. I see the talent. A lot of people in my comment section do not see the talent, but I think he's got a lot about him, and I do think there is some sort of player in there, and we can get it out of it. Mason Mount the same. He needs to learn to play the 8. He's not a winger. He's not a 10. He's not a false 9. He's not an inside forward. He's an 8. And if he can't learn to play the 8, then I'm sorry, we're going to have to move on from him. Raheem Sterling is in a situation as well where he needs to step up. And this is massive because Raheem Sterling is literally 6 months away from Chelsea potentially thinking, do we need to try and move this? He needs to consistently start reproducing numbers now. And this happens in 2 ways. Number one, he needs to start being more aggressive when he receives the ball. He needs to start taking people on, and he needs to start playing in a position that suited him at Manchester City. And that's where Potter comes in. Graham, I don't want to see him left wing back. I don't want to see him on the right hand side. I want to see him on the left, making in-darted runs into the back stick, and I need him getting those tap-ins the way he was at Manchester City. His movement generates chance. He is a magnet for the ball when it's pinballing around. He's so scrappy and he's so all over the gaff that he just walks into chances. It's the same for Pulisic. Pulisic just runs around the box and somehow the ball drops to him. And it's not a coincidence. It's movement, people. It's making the right runs over and over again. And in your probability is that the ball's eventually going to come to you. Like, there's only certain places the ball's going to go in that box, right? So if you time your runs and do good quality runs, you're going to get the ball. And now, yes, Raheem's got a 5-year deal, but that 5-year deal doesn't mean anything if Potter loses faith in him. Ziyech will be moving on. We know that. We've agreed on that. We all, majority of us can see it. A lot of people want him to stay. A lot of people want him to have another chance. But he will be moving on. So for him, it's a matter of what club comes in. Pulisic has got a great opportunity from now till the end of the season. Because if Pulisic puts in a masterclass from now till the end of the season, he will get a new contract that will make him the face of Chelsea. He already has the number 10. He already is the icon in America. You think Bowley's going to let that go? Bowley is not going to let that go. Bowley will make him one of the best paid players at the club if he starts performing. Because Bowley understands the power that Christian Pulisic's name and nationality brings for him. He is the face of North American football. So whether Chelsea fans right now like that or not, he sells shirts. He is exciting to watch when he receives the ball, especially when he's aggressive and on song. He gets goals. And more importantly, if he gets an element of consistency, he might be our best goal-scoring winger or forward at this moment in time. Let's link it in with Nkunku and maybe Kai Havertz in a false nine, and all of a sudden you've got a decent forward line. So it's a big season for all these players. We are going to be looking forward to the season restarting again. But this was the Kavkas View. I hope you all enjoyed it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, let me know your thoughts. Peace out, I'm out.